So, what if the single most valuable thing in your hotel's future isn't the latest tech or your slick new app, but just a person? Today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical vision from the techno-philosopher Simone Porto. And trust me, it challenges basically everything we think we know about automation and where hospitality is headed.
To really get a handle on where we're going, we first have to go way back, like all the way to the beginning. The word hospitality itself, it comes from this one Latin root, hospice. And what's so cool about this word is that it means both the host and the guest. It's not a one-way street. It's this shared, two-way relationship baked right into the language.
Okay, so what on earth does a 2,000-year-old word have to do with your bottom line next quarter? Well, it turns out it has absolutely everything to do with it.
Because if you strip everything else away, the tech, the brands, all of it, this is what you're left with. At its very core, hospitality has always been a pact, a fundamental human-to-human connection, a relationship between two people. That's the foundation we really need to keep in mind as we move forward.
Now, let's talk about what happens when that simple idea of a human pact runs head-on into a massive, industry-wide crisis. Simone Porto calls it the Great Labor Paradox, and it is a collision course.
So, on one side of this paradox, you've got this number, a staggering 43 million. According to the UN World Tourism Organization, that's the average number of new tourist arrivals we're seeing every single year. I mean, think about that. That's like adding the entire population of Spain to the global travel market year after year. The demand is just exploding.
And on the complete other side of the paradox, you have this number, a predicted global shortage of 40 million hospitality workers by 2035. An absolutely massive gap is opening up right in front of us.
And this image just nails it, doesn't it? You've got this tsunami of guest demand weighing down one side of the scale and this rapidly shrinking little pool of human talent on the other. The scales are completely out of balance and, honestly, it's threatening the very idea of service itself. And look, this isn't some far-off problem. The effects are here right now. In the UK, staff turnover is more than 50%. Wages have had to jump 25% in just 5 years to keep up. And it's no surprise, right? The entire global travel industry is being serviced by just 3% of the world's workforce. The model as it exists today, well, it's just not sustainable. So, faced with this paradox, what's the industry's big answer? Well, it's the logical, almost knee-jerk reaction. If you can't find a human worker, you just build a digital one.
And this is the road most everyone is going down. And you can see why. It seems to make perfect sense. You've got a hole in your staff, you plug it with an automated solution. A chatbot here, a robotic check-in there. On paper, it's just good business. But this path has a pretty serious hidden cost. Which brings us to probably the most important question in this entire explainer. If that core relationship, hospice, is all about a host and a guest, what's left of it when you take out the host? What is it you're even selling anymore? This is where Simone Porto's vision offers this really powerful and kind of provocative alternative. He argues that instead of seeing people as a problem to be automated away, we should be seeing them as the ultimate luxury. Think about it like you would any other commodity. When something becomes rare, its value just skyrockets. In a future where efficient, automated service is just the baseline, the new diamond, the thing that's truly scarce and valuable, is going to be a genuine, unscripted human interaction. That's the new luxury. Porto even has a name for this idea, the Anthropocentric hotel. Now, it sounds a little academic, but it's really simple. It comes from the Greek words anthropos, for human being, and kentron, for center. It's a hotel model that deliberately puts the human being right back at the absolute center of everything it does. So what does this actually look like day to day? Well, in this kind of hotel, the staff are intentionally visible. They're present, you're not trying to hide them. The goal is to create an environment that feels ethical, that feels less exploitative. And here's the real game changer. Human presence becomes a premium, paid-for feature. It's a conscious choice to keep a person in a role even when an algorithm could maybe do it faster, because that human interaction is the product. But let's be super clear. This isn't about being anti-technology or old-fashioned. Porto makes this brilliant point. It's not about reviving some nostalgic old format. He calls it a revival of the imperfection. It's about embracing the authentic, the spontaneous, the sometimes messy and flawed nature of a real human connection. That is something that technology can never, ever truly replicate. So ultimately, this all leads every hotelier to a strategic crossroads. You are going to have to make a very conscious choice about what kind of value you actually want to sell in this new world.
And this is really the key takeaway from all of this. For many hotels, a hybrid model of tech and people, well, that's going to be a necessity just to stay in business. But for those of you aiming for the very top of the market, for true luxury, the future is going to be defined by a deliberate choice. The choice to make the human connection not just a feature, but the main event. So I guess the question is, what are you going to choose?